These are my 3 favorite accessories for the GoPro. So at the moment, for my action camera of choice for travel content is the GoPro Hero 11. I use it for travel, for cinematics, for underwater shots, and for the FPV shots. So what are my 3 favorite different accessories for the GoPro? And a little heads up, all the products in this video are from Telesin. While the video is not sponsored by them, one of the 3 products actually came from them for free, so it's not sponsored, but I did get something from them. They have no say in the video, but I wanted to mention this beforehand so you know that this is not a sponsored video, but I did get one of the accessories from them for testing and trying it out. So with that being said, let's begin with the Telesin GoPro battery and charging and like the case, which actually has 2 extra batteries for the GoPro, meaning with this purchase you get 3 total batteries for the GoPro, 1 from the GoPro itself and 2 Telesin batteries. But it's not only a normal battery, because those are the stamina batteries, which look like this, and those are the more new and improved batteries from Telesin, and I have to say they are really good. When you have a replacement batteries, sometimes they don't work as good as the original. I have to say the Telesin stamina batteries are so good. Actually, to the point where on our recent trip to Gran Canaria, every day I would try to use the stamina battery just to test out how long it would actually work for. And I would use it for something like underwater or the FPV shots. And oddly enough, even though I had 3 and I thought it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a lot of usage out of it, turned out that I didn't actually have a day where I used even more than 1. That is how good the stamina batteries are. And going back to the case itself, as you can see, you have 3 places for the batteries. I have the Telesin stamina battery here, and then I have the original GoPro here. As you can see, they're different. From the top, you can see the different coloring. They're pretty much the reverse of the GoPro coloring, but they're amazing. They work perfectly fine with the GoPro itself. And the case is really cool because not only it has space here on the top for SD cards, there's one more thing that I really like about it, other than just convenience for travel, like having this instead of like batteries all over the place. It has LED lights on the front, as you can see here, and if you close it, you can actually see how many charge of each battery there is. So in this case, both of them are about 75% charged. And one more thing is, after a whole day of shooting, you can just put all the 3 batteries inside, and this case is actually, as you can see, there's a USB, meaning that you can actually charge them. So it's really convenient after a whole day of shooting, just putting all the batteries in, charging it with like a smartphone, charger, and it's good to go for the next day. You don't have to think about charging each GoPro battery itself. Before we go to the next accessory, I wanted to mention a brand new release by Audiio. Audiio Originals is new music that they're producing with some of the best music producers and artists. And this music can only be licensed on Audiio. Audiio's vision has been to level the playing field and make the best and most trend-worthy music for creators. If you want to know more about Audiio, check out the link below in the description. Now let's get back to the GoPro accessories. So the second thing is the ND filters for the GoPro itself. This one right here is the ND16, and you can actually get a whole pack of different NDs for the GoPro. And you might be asking, why would you need it? This can make your footage look even better. I personally got it because I wanted to use it for especially for the FPV, to have that cinematic motion blur, which actually happens when you double your frame rate. So if I'm shooting in 60 frames per second, so I want to have the shutter at 120, but without an ND filter, it's not possible. But when you have the ND filters on, you can actually lock it to that shutter speed, and thanks to this, you get that cinematic motion blur. And so you know how the motion blur looks like. Right now we're shooting at 30 frames per second with 60 shutter speed, so twice the amount of the frame rate. And as you can see, when I wave my hand, it looks pretty natural. That's how we perceive it. But let me change it for a second. And now we're at like 800, so 1/800 shutter speed. And look at my hand. There's no motion blur. It doesn't look as natural. But now if we go the other way, and now we have it, I know it's overblown, but look, this is not natural too. And that is why you want something like an ND filter so it looks natural, like it is right now, where you're watching this and it feels natural to our eyes. And also to this, it makes everything look a little bit faster. For example, if you're flying with an FPV, everything is in focus, everything is sharp, and when you put an ND filter, it seems like you're flying so much faster because everything is just zooming and, like, you know, you have that motion blur. But also just for all other uses, like even a handheld, if you're gonna have an ND filter and a shutter speed correctly, it's gonna look better. It's just gonna be more natural and better looking footage. And these ND filters are actually easy to get on because those are actually, you know, you just slide them off and on from the GoPro Hero 11 lens. So if you look at this, all you have to do is just line it up, press it in, and it's there. If you want to take it out, my best solution to this, because some people said that, you know, they're afraid they're gonna take off the original lens from it. My solution is, instead of like togging it off, all you have to do is just press on the one side and then on the other one, pull on the other one, meaning that if you go like this, so for example, I'm going like this, it just slides off really easily. That is my solution to it, and I think this is another accessory that you have to have for GoPro if you want to have better quality footage and make it look that much better. But last but not least, this is actually a handle, an underwater handle for the GoPro, and oddly enough, this was not bought for the GoPro, but for another action camera that I had beforehand, and it actually came up with the, you know, the dome, the underwater dome. If you like that kind of things, you can get the underwater dome with the handle for the GoPro. I personally didn't need it, so all I have is I use the Telesin, you know, stick handle for the GoPro. I put it on here, and this goes on my hand so that even if I let go of it, it's still attached to my hand through this. And better yet, it is made so it doesn't actually sink. So if you have your GoPro, if you let go of it, you have this on your hand, and then this is just gonna float to the top, so it's not gonna be, you know, drowning. You're not gonna lose your GoPro. But better yet, not only you can just freely swim with it just being attached to it or holding it, it actually helps you with filming underwater. You film it like, you know, this is your grip and you just hold it and you can see it. Instead of trying to hold the camera like this, you have it in your hand really safely and steadily. Those are the three things that I would get for the GoPro first. With this setup, you have pretty much everything covered that you might need. You have more batteries, more convenience, better quality, and even handling for underwater. So those are my three favorite accessories for the GoPro. With that being said, it is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.